This love triangle turned deadly and proves anyone could be living a double life. Gavin Smith was born in California. He was a very talented basketball player from an early age. He went to the University of Hawaii and played for the Rainbow Warriors. He was incredibly gifted at the sport. However, it wasn't just sport he was good at. He dreamed of becoming a successful actor and took on some small roles. In 1989, he met Lisa Smith, who he would marry and have 3 children with. Now, taking all that he had learned from being in front of the screen, he actually ended up being really successful behind the scenes. He would make loads of money as an exec at 20th Century Fox. However, despite earning a substantial amount, it was reported that he was having financial issues. In 2008, the couple even tried to sell their house to take the pressure off. Some say Gavin started living a double life. He'd become addicted to substances reportedly due to a back injury. This was obviously very costly. He ended up in rehab where he met a woman named Chandrika Creech. The pair began an affair despite them both being married to other people. This is just one of the reckless decisions that Gavin would make. He soon started taking money out of his pension fund to fund his lifestyle. He then began another affair with a woman called Melanie and started paying for her lifestyle too. His wife Lisa would later state that her husband was, quote, dressing like a 20-year-old and working out like mad. Now, the relationship actually eventually crumbled and they split up in 2012. She admitted later that she had only dumped him really as a shock to try and scare him into changing his ways. However, 2 weeks later, he just suddenly vanished. It was the 1st of May that year, and after his wife had kicked him out of the house, he was staying with a friend. That evening at around 10 p.m, he left the house suddenly and didn't tell his friend where he was going and didn't take any belongings. He then never showed up the next day to take one of his children to school, so Lisa reported him missing to police. Huge searches were undertaken of the local area, but they came up with nothing. There was no sign of the missing father. It would be an agonizing 10 months for his family before a clue turned up. His black Mercedes was discovered at a storage facility. Chillingly, it was covered in blood. Had he been murdered? Now, investigators figured out that the storage facility was linked to a man called John Creech. This was the husband of Chandrika, who Gavin was having the affair with. Disturbingly, they found out that he was a convicted substance dealer. However, there was still no sign of Gavin and still no body. That was until the 26th of October 2014. A hiker's dog alerted its owner to a human skull. It turned out to be Gavin's. An autopsy confirmed that Gavin had passed away from blunt force trauma to the head. His body was wrapped in a duvet and tied up with duct tape. It turned out that in April 2012, John Creech had spotted his wife with Gavin. He told her to break things off, but in May it's believed that the pair had rekindled things and started meeting again. John apparently found out that the two had been seeing each other again and confronted them. He attacked Gavin and literally smashed his skull in. Although John would plead not guilty to murder, he was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter. He was given 11 years in prison.
Former Attack on Titan manga editor Jun Hyun Park has just been sentenced to prison for 11 years for ending his wife. Yeah, as you can see right here, bro, why? What is wrong with some people? How do people even do this? You can read up on the stories right here. I can't get into the details, but he was prosecuted today, and this is absolutely disgusting. He should be serving a lot more than 11 years, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that.
What really happened to Chris from Mr. Beast? In the early days of the Mr. Beast channel, Chris Tyson was not only a prominent figure on the channel, but he was possibly the most beloved person. All of that changed in 2020 with much of the audience, when Chris officially announced that he had transitioned and will be going by Ava. But even after this, Ava Chris maintained much of their popularity online until July of 2024. This is when videos and receipts were released on Chris Tyson that would change everything. First, it was shown that he worked with and supported a known cartoon CP artist, which inappropriately detailed cartoon drawings of underage kids. He even had one of these art pieces hanging up in his living room as decor. Countless scenarios were shown in which he supported this artist, and then when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it did. Chris was then shown to have entirely inappropriate conversations with just a 14-year-old boy. And although this kid named Lava came out and said that Chris did nothing wrong, the comments quickly flocked saying, yeah, that's exactly what you were supposed to think. And although we don't have complete receipts all the way around, the story seems to get worse from here. Many creators that have been vocal on these types of situations in the past have been completely silent, saying nothing about the situation, which is pretty odd considering they just roasted Dr. Disrespect having little to no receipts. Now don't get me wrong, Dr. Disrespect deserved every bit of that, but it just feels odd that nobody's rushing to the same situation with Chris Tyson. All in all, this situation is completely messed up and we're left waiting to see what Mr. Beast is going to say. Like and follow, I'll keep everything up to date, and if you want a full-length video with interviews, I can do a lot more research, just let me know in the comments.
Imagine getting this mad because your bubble tea was made wrong. Police were called to this bubble tea place after this grown man had a meltdown because his bubble tea tasted too bitter. He got so mad that he threatened to throw the drink at the worker and said some very offensive stuff in Korean. Then he tried to force the worker to drink the bubble tea that he just finished putting in his mouth.
You know the reason why I'm here. You know,
I do.
And I explained. It was so bitter to drink.
I said I will
explained.
make it
And could you check this? Could you try this? I
said no.
told her. But she rejected.
Hey, first off, there's no reason to act like this over a drink. You're a grown man.
This is the worker, and she tried to find a solution by offering to make him a new drink or give him a refund, but this man was so mad. He didn't want any of that. He just wanted to fight. The workers ended up calling the police because this man was getting pretty aggressive, and when the police arrived and heard both stories, they were upset because this man was acting like a baby over a drink. Then this man called his daughter so that she can better explain the situation because there was a language barrier, and you would think that she had more common sense, but it seems that common sense does not run in this family because she was blaming the workers for everything.
There's bigger things in life to worry about than a damn drink that's bitter or not.
I know. Sir, you're really discounting.
Then you go to another location. If I go to a restaurant and they offend me, I'm just not going to bring my business
I know.
there.
That's how you handle your problem. And this is
But
how
you can't come into public and then cause a disturbance.
Sir, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I understand that he was offended. You know, he may seem like really offensive, and you apologize. Okay, but when someone is really worked up, and there's no de-escalation of the problem because they are not apologizing for this service, then we only get really upset.
Okay, but he's got to be in charge of his own emotions.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't like the drink, then take the refund and don't come back. It's simple. It's so frustrating to see the entitlement and lack of awareness of these people. I felt so bad for this worker. She broke down in tears and apologized to this man so many times, but he wasn't satisfied and just wanted to continue to fight. It's so frustrating to see this, especially because she's working at a bubble tea place. She probably gets paid minimum wage and she has to deal with people like this.
A movie theater in Canada accidentally played a horror movie instead of Detective Pikachu for a theater full of kids and their families. The first sign that something was wrong, a trailer for Annabelle Comes Home started playing for all the children to see. Someone in the theater was live tweeting the entire time, so we got to see everything as it was unfolding. After Annabelle, they played the Joker trailer, and then it went into the new Child's Play trailer. At this point, the kids were really freaking out, but they weren't sure if it was just the trailers that were swapped or if it was the entire thing. But then the Curse of La Llorona started playing, which, kids, I feel bad for you. This movie blows. Apparently, the kids were crying and screaming the entire time through all of the trailers and going into the start of the movie before the movie theater employees actually switched out the film. But like, my god, I can understand if you were a parent, like, sitting through the first trailer and being like, okay, that was kind of weird, but once you got into the Chucky trailer, how did you not realize something was wrong? Why did you not take your children out of the movie theater? Especially once the movie actually started and it was the Curse of La Llorona. It seems like the movie theater made it right with the parents, they switched the film back, they probably got some refunds, all that good stuff. But yeah, this happens more often than you would think.
Oh no, these are the ambulance people. No, please no, no, is there a kid not alive? That bitch! Somebody better go arrest her now! It's gone. Somebody killed that baby! No!
Heather and Jesse, the sisters, they already have an idea of what happened to baby Benson, and they're ready to share it with the investigators. They are certain that the babysitter did this. I mean, it has to be the babysitter.
Please go to that babysitter's house. She has another child there. Okay.
The babysitter's name is Marissa Tiasort, and the officers are quite familiar with her, and the fact that she's not allowed to be anywhere near any children. One officer turns to her partner far enough away from Heather and her sister so that they cannot hear, We need to do a CT scan or something to make sure he doesn't have a brain bleed. That's her MO. This is the third infant that's gotten hurt in her care. She has been responsible for brain bleeds and skull fractures.
Marissa has been responsible for child neglect on 4 different children, including skull fractures and stuff. So.
Whoa, so she has previously killed 2 babies?
Injured
2 babies.
Marissa, the babysitter, had done this before.
People gotta stop comparing art done by fans to manga artists. There was literally just this video right here of this dude drawing a glass of water using hyperrealism. And literally every single comment up in this dude's comment section, Murata's still better. Murata, glass of water, skull emoji. We don't know who Yusuke Murata is. It's literally the artist for One Punch Man. And the reason everybody's comparing is because he also did a hyperrealism photo of a glass of water. But it's literally like this video has nothing to do with Murata. Murata did not invent hyperrealism, so I don't know why everybody's bringing Murata into this conversation. And literally every single comment that's saying Murata's doing it better, if I'm gonna be honest, this dude did it better than Murata. Now, to be fair, Murata did say he just started training in this field of art, and he only did it for a few days, and he did this. But this is also digital art. He did it on a computer. This dude did it via pencils, which is much harder, let's be honest. This is a dude, he's a Lebanese artist, but yeah, he shouldn't be getting these types of comments. They're both amazing. Let's just appreciate both.
This is the biggest mystery in the history of YouTube. If we go back just a few years ago, there was a brand new YouTuber that hit the scene named Kate Yup. She uploaded what seemed to be simple mukbang videos, but after just a few uploads, things didn't seem right. First off, why was she wearing a blindfold? Why was her name clearly fake? And her profile picture was just a Googleable image. The comments flooded in, and every single video, people found a new theory to latch onto. And with every video came a new sense of disturbance. Bruises, people whispering in the background, and cryptic messages being left by Kate Yup asking for help. But Kate Yup denied all of it in the comments. And right when things were seeming to calm down, things would take a disturbing turn. Kate Yup would simply vanish off of the internet. After months of being gone, this is when people would really start to research, and everything they went back and found was odd. I have a full video of this up on my YT channel, and like and follow for part 2.